And what we're going to now trying to pick a fight with China over Taiwan. I mean, my goodness, Taiwan, who runs those factories? It's Foxconn, which is a Taiwanese company. The connection economically between China and mainland China is like that. This is a phony issue now.
So why do you think Pelosi did what she did? And now you have these other members of Congress going over there.
I think the Democrats, and you can quote me on this, are clearly the war party. That doesn't mean they don't get the Republicans enthusiastic. The Republicans can be as jingoistic as anybody. But what the Democrat Party has done, they have two major contradictions as far as I can see. One, they're locally in every city on the side of the police, the law enforcement, the big budgets. That's how city governments operate. And every city, I think every city where Occupy was smashed had a Democratic mayor. And, at that time, I think almost everyone, maybe New York had an so-called independent, but now he's thought to be an enlightened moderate. But the big issue there is that the Democrats act strong and patriotic when there's war. And that doesn't mean the Republicans are incapable of it. But the fact of the matter is Eisenhower was the least warlike of our major presidents. And Harry Truman, who somehow people like about, he's the one that got the whole Cold War going. And again, with a tremendous amount of deceit involved. But I think the reason Nancy Pelosi went there is this the only ticket they got to ride. They're not going to doing anything. Well, you don't hear the Democrats talking about immigration now. And they certainly had a long time to deal with the issue of choice and neglected it. They're certainly not talking about racial inequality. They're certainly not talking about income inequality. It was under Obama that the banks were rewarded for destroying the economy. The major victims of that old banking swindle, which was signed off by Bill Clinton, the Financial Service Modernization Act and the collateralized debt obligations and all that. The people who were hurt, Black people lost, according to the Federal Reserve, between 60 and 70% of their wealth, not their income, their collected wealth. Latino people lost, again, over 60% of they were the hardest hit groups, college educated, by the way, college educated Black Americans. And the Democrats in power, they rewarded the banks for that, and they passed the initial legislation. But the other issue they got is war. And Democrats have loved war, going back to World War II. And that's what they're riding now. And why they're picking a fight with China, what is China's big crime? Is that they're actually a more effective capitalist system than we are. This whole thing is made up.